We're on paragraph number 6 here, and we said that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to see the Jews the way they were in their essential level, in the level, but it was kind of like how it's related to Moshe. And then Yitro came along, and he saw the essential level of a Jew. Okay, what does that mean? This is what Yitro did. He came from his country, and being that he was a convert, he was able to appreciate the level of the Jews on their own level. And not in a way that Moshe Rabbeinu is lifting them up. Therefore he came and claimed the judging of the nation could not be done through Moshe alone. When we're talking about learning Torah, when the Jews are coming to learn the Chukim and the Torah, we could say that the learning itself is mashpia, and then we go up to the level of Moshe, and we learn at his level. So therefore, it says V'hizaharta Moshe eten et chukim. Moshe Rabbeinu gave you the laws, but when they're coming to have a judgment on their business, physical things, le'asher divrei ributam, to straighten out the words that are many. Hariyaz ein hem ba'olamo shel Moshe. They're not in the world of Moshe, and they're not going up to receive from him, to receive the Torah from the level of Moshe itself. So Yitro said, yeah, it's true. It's true Al Pi Torah that everyone should go to Moshe. But we see that there's a difference between when they're doing Torah. When they're doing Torah, they're elevating to the level of Moshe. When they're doing the business stuff, they're dealing with the physical stuff. They need intermediaries. So the situation is, Kasher Balei Hadin Omdim Lifnei Moshe. When the people that are in the court case are standing in front of Moshe, Harei Etzem Uvda Zu Meromim Tam Asakeyem Ad Shebichotam Lekabel Lilmod Meno Et Mishpat the Torah Bavach Dargan Moshe. So they just by being in front of Moshe in the judge in the court, in the Beit Din, being in front of Moshe elevates them up to a new level, and then the judgment happens according to the level of Moshe's understanding. Okay. Well, it gives an example. It says, for example, we say, Ben Chamesh the Mikre. When you're 5 years old, you got to learn the Chumash. When you're in a room with the Malamed, then things change. Then when he is by himself, he gets elevated up. It basically pushes past where he's at, and he goes to a higher place, beyond where he's actually holding. I guess that means some cases it could be strict, some cases it could be lenient, but I mean it's perspective of Moshe. We're not at that perspective all the time, but Moshe.
Like he'll pass him like the best possible judgment
at a higher level, yeah, when they're not really there yet.
Somebody owes somebody $5, right? You open the border, on a roof, you see what happens, right? So what difference does it make?
Well, if you're dealing with regular people, so maybe there's certain leniencies because they don't know anything, or so you have to judge it more favorably. But when you go higher up, everything is more meduyak.
Like where you go to
Stuff like that, yeah. It's like, yeah, okay, so then, nonetheless, Hashem agreed for the Eitzah of Yitro. Ki yesh lid'og gam lematzavam shel Yisrael la'achar knisatam la'eretz Yisrael. Because we have to be concerned about the situation of the Jewish people after they come into the land of Israel. As it says, Kasher hinech shochev v'kama amazeh shigam kasher hem lo yilmodu Torah mipi Moshe. Even if they don't learn Torah from the mouth of Moshe, and they elevate vitalu be'emtzauto, and they elevate through him, they could still agam az tagia le'em Torah. The Torah could still come to them then, which is always Dvar Hashem, through the Rosh Alfei Yisrael Shel Hador, the heads of thousands of the generation. This is the reason why the Moshe held that he doesn't have to do it by himself. That he didn't hold that he has to do it by himself. Ki etzem ha'inyan shero'ei Yisrael yeshna et seder hanhagato k'tei le'og l'matzav shel ha'achar yistalkito. Because the essential concept that a Roy Yisrael, a shepherd of the Jewish people, has an order in how he conducts himself in order to take care of each situation after he passes, is a chiddush. And furthermore, lo hayta az machshava shel matzav acher. There was no thought of any other situation. Kilule achet la'achar miken. Because if not for the sin that came after that, Moshe would have brought the Jewish people to Israel. And it would have been Geula Shlema when there's no Galus after it. And then we would be at the level of Re'iyah like Moshe Rabbeinu had when he received the Torah. And in a general sense, he had that. Now, we see an interesting thing that the choosing of the Sar, the Shoftim, had to be through Moshe. Okay, we're going to explain that now. And then we're going to explain what does it mean, Tachazeh. Why does it say it in Aramaic as opposed to Ivrit? Tachazeh means to see in Aramaic.
Come and see.
It's surely Aramaic. Yeah, it's in the Torah, but it's Aramaic. Also, Totafot is in Torah, African language. But a Totafot. So like we see the different languages in Torah. There's another Sicha.
Is it
How about that?
also Aramaic or it's only Aramaic?
It seems like it's Aramaic, yeah. Like the word Anochi, like where does that word come from? It's not Hebrew. Where does it come from? Who knows? Egyptian. Okay, it's in the Torah. God said Anochi. He said I in Egypt. Okay, now this has to be done through Moshe, because all of the things of the Torah, even though that the inyanim are connected to many generations, it has to go through Moshe. As the sages say in another place, it says, Kol ma shetalmid vatik atid lichadesh b'Torah, akol nitan laMoshe miSinai. Whatever is going to be macharish in the Torah, already given to Moshe at Sinai. He had every chiddush that possibly came into the world after that. It's crazy stuff. K'lomar, af man shetalmid vatik bador me'uchar chadesh gam chiddush nitan laMoshe miSinai. Means everything that will come out, that will be b'chadesh, everything was given to Moshe at Sinai. Is that crazy? Like everything you know until Mashiach comes, Moshe got all that at Sinai. Since this chiddush,
We also see that it's something
Abraham, what do you mean?
But Abraham also knew working with Hashem that to see everything that was going to happen to the Jewish people.
Oh, it could be that, but because when he put him to sleep, he got a visions. But it's not like he didn't understand all the Torah necessarily in a revealed way.
So what was the whole thing? Is Rabbi Akiva?
Yeah, it's a good question. It says, I think it means that Rabbi Akiva's machar is something that was included in what Moshe understood. It was more mafurat by Rabbi Akiva. I think that's what it means. Dawid.
Anochi.
Egyptian.
I will answer you Anochi. Anochi is Ani Kavav. Ani Kavav. Kavav is 26 Yud Kei Vav Kei. Ani Hashem. Yud Kei Vav Kei. Anochi.
But it says, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. It's not going to say, Ani Hashem Elokecha.
Yes, Midat Adin, Midat Arachamim.
But it's saying Hashem twice.
Yud Kei Vav Kei, Midat Arachamim.
But if you're saying Anochi means Ani Hashem, it's say Ani Havaya Elokecha.
No.
That's what it would have said.
Anochi ze Ani Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei. Ani Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei. Elohecha Midat Arachamim. Midat Adin Elohecha. Elohecha Elohim ze Midat Adin. I am both.
Well, what it says in Chassidus, this is another Shicha, it says, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Why is it in Egyptian language? Because when you go into only Kedusha, then it's limited to how far it could express itself down. But when you go into Egyptian, then it go everywhere equally. So therefore, the first thing Hashem said was Anochi, because that means the highest level of Hashem is in Egypt, is in Israel, it's everywhere. That's what the Chassidus says. So this Chiddush, the Talmud Vatik, Chodesh B'Sichlo Shelo, okay, you're going to come and learn the Torah, you're going to say, Anochi is Ani Hashem Kava. You came up with it in your own brain.
Yes.
Okay, now, did Moshe Rabbeinu know this?
This one.
What you just said.
Of course, he knew everything.
לפיכך אין יכול חידוש זה להיות חלק מתורת משה, אלא אם כן יעבוד באמצעות משה, שאז הוא דבר השם ממש. In order for it to be Dvar Hashem, it had to go through Moshe. So whatever you came up with, it already went through Moshe for that thing to be Dvar Hashem. Zot Amar Yitro Moshe Rabbeinu, Ata Techazeh, you'll come and see in the Ruach HaKodesh that is upon you. Moshe tzarich livchor ulahatzi baruch HaKodesh shelo et Sari Alafim. Moshe has to choose and appoint the Sari Alef, 1,000 ministers of thousands, etc., that they should judge the nation, and through this, he can actually have hashpah on all the rest of the generations of the judgment of the Jewish people. Through the Chochmei Yisrael, they have smicha, ish mi pi ish, until Moshe Rabbeinu, according to the Psak Din, that they reach in their mind is a mishpat of Torah Emet, Torah Moshe. Okay, is smicha important? Yes. It means if you don't have smicha, then you're not connected to the Moshe, not connected to Moshe all the way down. That's the way to do it. That's how the sages instituted it. You get the smicha, and now you connect to Moshe. You give over halacha.
Depends who gives the smicha.
Depends who gives the smicha. What is it? What? Amen. No, because people think whatever, learn midrash and all the cool stuff. It's actually, to reconnect to Moshe, you got to do the smicha. Halachas. Of smicha? Oh, with the actual head. Yeah. Well, but I don't think no one does that anymore right now. Maybe God willing soon, Now, that's what it means. Ata techezeh. It doesn't say ata tir'eh. Why did it say techezeh? David? Why did it say ata techezeh, not ata tir'eh? If Moshe looks in his Ruach HaKodesh, in the level of Re'iyah, which is the level of Moshe in its essence, what do you say? Well, Al Pi Chassidus, it's Chitzonius of Re'iyah, because it's Aramaic, so it shows not the Panemius Re'iyah. Moshe Rabbeinu got the Panemius Re'iyah. He says Re'iyah. However, Lo Yet Tzorech. So if Moshe Rabbeinu looked in his Ruach HaKodesh, there's no need for all the ministers in between. Everything just goes through Moshe in a revealed way, and he judges the nation, and everything, big things, small things. Only through this that Moshe had a lowering of his level.
I have an answer wrong.
Let me finish sentence. That in the place of Re'iyah, there is by him the darga of Techezeh Shehi Targum, or in other words, Tarjum Shel Re'iyah. Yeah, it's a joke. Let me finish the sentence. Let me just finish. Klomar, kasher inan shel Re'iyah meturgam l'lashon aramit, lashon ha'olam, the language of the world, Aramaic. As it says in Chassidus, achoraim shel bechinat Re'iyah. Okay, that's what we're saying. Look at the Rizayit Ra'anan. Az hu ro'eh et Yisrael k'fi shem mitzar atzmam v'az yes tzorach v'b'chir atzal alafim. So Moshe Rabbeinu had to go out of levels of Re'iyah, go into these crazy high visions, and he had to lower himself into Chazi, Tachazeh. He had to be Aramaic, had to be of the world now. And then when he looked at the people through the eyes, more worldly eyes, then he says, Now I see they need Sari alafim, Sari me'ot, Sari asarim, asara, what? David.
Hazon.
Hazon Eliyahu. Hazon Avadia.
Hazon, Nazir Hazon.
Visions.
Hazon, the vision. That means you can see more than what you see. You see something, Re'iyah is you see.
That's for us, but Moshe was a lowering.
Just a second. Re'iyah is when you look at something, you don't go further, you are away. But Hazon is you look at something and you can deduct from that thing what you see, a Hazon, something which is more, other people cannot see it.
Right. But it's still, for Moshe, it was a lower level. For us, it'll be a higher level, because now we can get a higher
It's
level.
a lower level.
Because Moshe is Askaplaria Me'ira. He got the clear vision. Everyone else got the blurry vision. So, and also, if you want to, in the spheres, Moshe got to a higher madrega, and the other Nevi'im got to a lower madrega. So for lower madrega, for everyone else, that's beyond our perception, because no one's getting those prophecies. But for Moshe, it was lower. He had to lower himself, because he's looking at Hashem, Atzilus, all that cool stuff, and he had to go in like people and problems. But if he was looking from that level to the people, then the people have to automatically elevate to be at Moshe's level, and they can't be themselves. So Moshe had to look down. When he looked down, people could be themselves, and then he's like, "Oh, I need to make some Sarei Alafim."
So what's the connection with Chazeh?
Because he had to lower his vision, because he has Re'iyah, and he says only when he does Tachazeh, and he sees the Jew the way he is by himself, that's not connected to him, that he's elevated by his presence, then he could see, oh, they really need help with this, they need help with that, and then he was able to appoint the ministers. Therefore, the parsha is called Yitro, because he added a parsha in the Torah.
I see it differently. Let me explain.
So you have to do Techazeh.
Yes.
You got to do Techazeh.
Yes. When you are in high madriga, you don't see what the chazeh, what the little one needs.
That's right. That's what we're saying.
Exactly. So you don't see when you are in Re'iyah.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
That means you don't have the chazon to the little
No,
one.
but what happens, we explained that when you're on the level, if you're on the level of Re'iyah, or let's say you go to a huge tzaddik, you know that he sees stuff in the higher worlds, he knows what's coming down to the world, he knows all this cool, he knows the future worlds. You're going to come to him, well, guess what? You're going to feel uplifted too, because you're next to him, he's looking at you. You're going to feel like, whoa, I feel like I'm uplifted. But when he leaves his place of his gedula, and he's able to come out and start talking to you, then he realizes that, yes, you could elevate up to his level.
So he sees more.
But he sees that you actually need to receive it the way you are.
He sees more.
And then he says, I need to get you a
That
teacher.
means he sees more. When he's lower. When, as much as
You see more for the
That's right,
people,
what
of the
your needs,
people,
what
of
your
the
needs.
true needs.
That's right.
Mitzad hamakabel atzmo.
That's right.
That's right. That's what happens. That's what happened. That's what happened. Yeah, because you could be there at a high level and you're like everyone. You don't actually fulfill the needs properly because.
That's right.
Because they don't need what you're bringing them to. They actually have other needs that you don't care about, but now we'll care about it.
Exactly. That means you see more what the needs are.
But from the side of the one who needs.
Of course.
In an emis way. So now Yitro came along. We needed Yitro to do it. We couldn't. Well, you didn't realize that for some reason.
That's the matara.
He was Sheiter Parsha Chabator. He added a Parsha Torah. Why? Because at the level of Moshe, things were different. According to the Torah by itself, which is the revelation of the Chokhmah Hashem through Moshe Rabbeinu, it's a different conduct. Yitro caused an addition to the Torah that the Seder of Atat Techazeh should be a Seder of the Anhaga Al-Pi Torah. He made, because before the Torah was, you go to high levels or you stay at home. And then now Yitro said there's a new Anhaga in the Torah that you could actually look at the person for where he's at. Now, why would you lower yourself? In the end of the day, we want to be on high levels, right? Let's just forget about all of these basic things and start doing.
The matara is to give to the others, not to stay on one level.
Oh, even more. Good, yes, but there's even more. According to this, we could even say lechora that the seder of Atat Techazeh is a yirida bilvar chas v'shalom. Moshe Rabbeinu is on such a high level. Why? So we could hear the guy saying he needs meat? Well, come on. Get over it, right? Just eat some cheese. And the milk dishes. Now he's going to come lower, and he's going to say, I don't have to worry about this guy's problems and all this stuff. Okay, so how can we say it's just a Yerida Bilvad, and now Moshe is going to have to take care of all this boring stuff? The Penimis Inyanim is that it's the other way around. Through this, Shedoagim Umeromamim Yehudi Hasharui Lamata Mata Bayoter. When you go and care about a Jew that's in the low level, then you're actually able to receive a higher thing. Okay, it's brought down in Shari Ora Yaviu Levush Malchut. It says over there that through a Jew, doing the avoda below, where there is a milchama atzuma neged haguf nefesh bahamit. There's a big war against your body and nefesh bahamit. Everyone's got to fight the wars. So it says that when a Jew goes out and he fights the wars, he goes instead of just going on some mountain and forgetting about the rest of the world, and I'll just wait for the wars to happen and we'll be all right. He goes into the battlefield. And when he goes into the battlefield, you think you're going to fall really low. What does it say? It says that when you go and you're saying, I'm ready to do the battle, then Hashem opens up the otzrot hayakarim biyoter, the storehouses that are the most precious for the king, because you're fighting his battle. And when you do that, then the king throws out all of the treasures at you to win the battle. Which means the midah of netzach comes out in your soul, and the midah of netzach is part of the etzim of your soul, so it causes the storehouses to open up. Okay, and then Hashem, before the war, you don't reveal them; they just stay in the storehouse. But now you go to the war, Hashem starts mebazbez the otzrot. He wastes them. He takes out all the goods and starts wasting them on you, so you can win the war. You know, who told me the other day how much money they put into the military? David Rothschild. Can you find out that?
What?
David Rothschild was telling me how much money they put in the military every year, more and more money. Because the war, you do the war, and then the Hashem throws out all of the goods, and that actually brings it to goes to the Anshe Chayil, people that are doing the war, actually doing it. Okay, and then through this, you actually bring about what it says in the Midrash that Hashem desired to have a dwelling place here in the Olam Hazeh Tachton. There's no world lower than this world. That it will be in a shleimus and gilu b'bit Mashiach tzidkenu b'karv mamish. Chayim. Very much.